Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Techie Sugan. In this video, we are going to learn about what is variable, how to declare a variable. Already in the previous video, we have learned about how to write a simple C programming. Now let us understand what is variable. If at all you are going to give some value, let us assume I am going to give a value 90, where this data will be stored. This particular 90 is a constant value and this constant value will be stored in some memory location. We doesn't know in which memory location the data has been saved. If at all you want to access this data 90, how can I access it? It is not possible for me to access it since I doesn't know in which memory location the data has been saved. If you want to access this data, I should give some name for my data and let me store this data. Now we can able to access this particular data. Clear? Since I have given the name for the 90 as number. So what is the particular name? The particular name is the variable name. Variable name is nothing but name given for memory location, not for data. The name given for memory location where my data is saved, that is known as variable name. Now I hope you are clear with what is variable name. The name given for the memory location, that is known as a variable name. Now let us understand how to declare a variable. I hope so now you are clear with what is variable and what is the requirement of the variable. If you want to declare a variable, there is a syntax should be followed. That is nothing but data type followed by your variable name assign value. This is a way for declaring a variable. Keep in mind that each and every line of your program should be terminated by using semicolon. This is a syntax for declaring variable. Now let us understand what is the necessity of this variable and why should I use this format. Here, as I told you that the first line of your statement is data type. The name itself defines the type of data which you are going to store. Here, I can able to give number assigned 90. So, I know that the particular number has been initialized with an integer value. I can give number 1 assigned 2.3. Now, I know that this particular number 1 is initialized with some fractional value. But our compiler is not that much smart enough to identify what kind of value is stored in the particular variable. When you are executing the program, you are supposed to mention I have stored such kind of value in the particular variable name. That is the reason a data type is required. The type of data I am going to store has to be notified to my variable name. This kind of value should be stored in this particular variable name. That is the purpose of data type. Now let us understand what are the different types of data type available. When I say data type, there are 4 different types of data types available. Those are integer, float, char, double. This integer represents it can able to store all the whole numbers starting from your negative range of value to positive range of values. This particular integer can able to store all the values, all the whole numbers can be stored here. And next, whenever I say float, float in the sense it can able to store all the fractional values. All the fractional values are stored here. It also includes positive range of values to negative range of values can be stored in your float. And whenever I say float, it accepts 6-digit precision. Precision here is after decimal point how many element can be accepted. That is nothing but precision. Here this float accepts 6-digit precision. Now let us move to your next data type, that is nothing but char. Whenever I say char, it means that the alphabet A to Z I can able to hold single character. For example, yes. Clear? A single character is denoted by char, or I can name it as string type where group of characters. Both the things are given as only by char. If at all you want to store a single element, you will be using char. If you want to store a string, you will be using array of characters. You will be seeing how to implement array of characters in forthcoming sessions. And next is double. As I told you that for float, I can able to store fractional value. The same work is done by using your double also. I can able to store fractional value. The only difference between float and double is float can accept 6-digit precision and a double can accept 16-digit precision. And one more thing is the memory capacity for float and double is varying. In case of float, memory capacity will be of 4 bytes. In case of double, memory capacity will be of 8 bytes. The memory capacity is varying for float and double, and the precision is varying for float and double. Apart from this, both the data types is used for storing fractional values. Now I hope so you are clear with what is data type and what are the data types. Now let us move on to modifiers. What is this modifiers? This modifier is going to be the prefix of this basic data type, which is going to modify the memory space of the data type. Clear? Let us understand what are the data modifiers available. The modifier available are, there are 4 types of modifiers. Those are signed modifier, signed one, unsigned, short, long. Whenever I say signed, it can accept both positive and negative values, and whenever I say unsigned, unsigned accepts only positive values, short accepts certain amount of data which is less than your integer, and long accepts certain amount of data which is more than your integer. The only variation between short and long is short accepts 2 bytes of data, long accepts 4 bytes of data. Clear? I hope so now you are clear with modifiers, and these modifiers cannot occur independently. They occur along with the basic data type what we are seeing here. Let us go further and look at it. What are the keywords available? I mean that what are the data types available, and what are the modifiers I can apply for the concerned data type, and what is the memory space for the each and every data type, and what kind of access specifier can I use for the particular data type to access it. We can go through it. First we will start with integer. When I say integer, this integer can apply different types of modifiers. Those are short int, long int, signed int, unsigned int. Whenever I say short int requires only 2 bytes of memory, and whenever I say long int requires 8 bytes of memory. Signed, unsigned. As I said you that signed int, unsigned int, signed in the sense it can able to accept both positive and negative values. If I give unsigned int, it requires only positive values. Only positive values can be initialized for the particular variable. Now I hope so you are clear with what is integer and what kind of modifiers can be applied. And depending upon the type of modifiers you are applying, this particular memory sizes varies. Let me repeat it once again. If at all you are applying int, integer requires 4 bytes, except in case of 32-bit compiler. If the compiler is 64-bit machine, it requires 4 bytes. In case of 32-bit compiler, integer requires 2 bytes. This is the exception case, and where if that particular integer is a short int, it requires 2 bytes. If it is of integer, 4 bytes. If it is of long int, 8 bytes. And next, if you are going to use integer, I can use access specifier for accessing this integer kind of value. Those are %d and %i is used for accepting and accessing integer values, and %u is used for unsigned integer. Specifically for unsigned integer, I will be using %u, and for long int, I will be using %ld. Clear? And next we will want to float. If I am going to use float, no modifiers is going to be applied for float, and number of bytes required for float is 4 bytes of memory is required, and access specifier for float is %f. And next we will see with character. Character requires 1 byte of memory, and modifiers can be applied for this character is signed character and unsigned character. These are the 2 types of modifiers which can be applied for character, and access specifier for characters. As I said you that character can accept a single character or a array of character. If at all you are going to accept a single character, I will be using %c. If you are going to use array of character, I mean string, I can use %s here. And next data type is double. If I am going to use double, your double data types requires lf for its access specifier. Whenever you are given long double, I mean that you are given modifier as long for your double, it requires 16 bytes of memory, and access specifier for it is %lf, where L should be in uppercase. Now I hope so you are clear with what are the data types available, and what is the memory space required for each and every data type, and what are the access specifier can I implement for this concerned data type, where you will be seeing implementation of this access specifier when you are seeing with your scanf and printf statement, and what kind of modifiers can be applied for the concerned data type. Clear? Now I hope so you are clear with what can be given here in the place of data type. Next we will go with the next statement of your syntax, that is nothing but your variable name. Whenever I say variable name, this variable name is a user defined name. It can be given any name. It has certain rules. It has certain rules. These rules should be satisfied. Let us see to it what are those rules. Your first rule is your variable should be alphanumeric. Alphanumeric. Alphanumeric in the sense it can be alphabet followed by numbers such a way. Number 1, number 2. Such a way you can apply variable name where you cannot apply number followed by the alphabet. This is not possible. This will throw you an error. Clear? I hope so you are clear with it. I cannot able to give alphanumeric is allowed, alphabet followed by numeric is allowed, where numeric followed by alphabet is not allowed. And your second rule is where I cannot give variable name as two names. For example, I cannot give number space. I cannot give such a way. Let me write here. If I want to give as two name, I should give as number data. Such a way, or I can start a variable name as underscore. Such a way is possible where this kind of initialization is not possible. Applying number space data where a single variable name cannot be given such a way. I space phone. It cannot be given such a way. If at all you are giving by two name, it will throw me a error where if at all you want to join two name, I can give by using underscore. Such a way number dot data or I underscore phone. I hope so you are clear with it, where single name should be given. It cannot be given as two name. If you want to give it as two name, make use of underscore. And your next rule is no special character is allowed. No special character. Special character in the sense, what I mean is, in your keyboard you will be having certain symbols. Those are exclamatory, @ symbol, hash symbol, dollar symbol. All those things are special character except underscore. None of your characters is allowed. Only underscore is allowed here. Except underscore, none of your characters is allowed here for applying. You should not use any special characters here. And next, no keywords are allowed. No keywords or reserve words. Reserve words in the sense, right now we are seeing certain keywords. Int for integer, float for representing a float value, and char for representing character, and main for representing your main function. All those things are predefined names. This particular predefined reserve words or keywords cannot be given for a variable name. Apart from these elements, you can able to give your own variable name which follows under this rule. Let us see few examples how to declare a variable. If at all you want to initialize an integer, you will be initializing such a way. Int number 1 assign 10. You will be initializing such a way. Keep in mind that each and every line should be terminated by using semicolon. And if at all you want to initialize a fractional value, I can give float number 2 assign 4.5. Next, if you want to initialize a character, I can give char followed by my variable name alpha, and I am going to initialize a single character in it. Clear? Such a way you can initialize a variable. I hope so you are clear with what is variable, how to declare a variable, what is data type, and what is the memory size required for each and everything. If at all you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.